Get ready for The Splash Live, Greater West Bloomfield's dedicated update show. Events, businesses, and people. Anything and anyone causing a ripple in the community. And now, let's dive in to The Splash Live.
Good morning and welcome to The Splash Live. I'm Ursula Krause. Thank you to everyone watching from West Bloomfield, Kego Harbor, Sylvan Lake, and Orchard Lake for tuning in on this Wednesday morning. The Splash Live is Greater West Bloomfield's very own daily TV, radio, and streaming show, and you can always watch us live Monday through Friday from 9:30 to 10 a.m. on Civic Center TV. Catch us on Comcast Channel 15, AT&T Channel 99, on the web at civiccentertv.com, on Civic Center TV's Facebook app, and you can even listen live on 89.3 Lakes FM. The Splash Live is part of Civic Center TV and Lakes FM's 90 minutes of live local programming. We have a cooler day ahead of us, temperatures hitting the higher 50s this morning and can be expected to just reach the high 70s as the day goes on. Plenty of sunshine though, so it might just feel a little bit warmer than that. Tomorrow we can continue with the sunshine streak and temperatures are expected to reach the low 80s. We can look forward to a lot of beautiful sunshine this weekend with a lot of temperatures resting comfortably in the low 80s. Summer doesn't seem to be over just yet. In the previous episode of This Week in Laker Football, another Laker win puts West Bloomfield in the position to enter OAA Red Division play as they prepare to attack the Stony Creek Cougars after a 33-14 victory against Harper Woods. Coach Grice has the opportunity to discuss the team's improvement and how the past two games have prepared them for the rest of the season. Our very own Tyler Kieft also asked Lakers defensive back Jameer Benjamin how important it has been for the secondary to start the season gelling immediately. Let's take a look.
Previous years, we really don't start off our year that good, so it's really important to really make a statement as our defense being a really good defense.
You've gone up against a couple of excellent receiving corps this year, especially in week 2, going up against guys like Ramonte Howes and Jacob Oden, who's getting a lot of press statewide for his performance over the last few years. In terms of the early season jitters and getting those out of the way, and like you said, being more disciplined, how important are those first games in really preparing yourself for OAA Red play, especially with as big of competition as you have this year?
It's really during practice, I feel like we prepared for our upcoming season because we have good receivers like Samaj and Tay. So I feel like every week as our secondary, we're prepared because we go against that every day in practice. So that really helps a lot too.
In terms of what you learned from those guys and what you've learned in the past from other really talented players, whether it be Donovan or Dylan or even guys that were maybe up a little bit in the ranks from you when you were playing JV ball, what do you learn from them in practice that helps you apply that to the game, especially when they have such an immense talent level like those guys have had?
I learned a lot of leadership because, like, once they're gone, the class of 2024 is going to have to step up. So that's really a big, what's the word to use? That's what they're really trying to teach us, like, just be a leader when we have to leave, when we leave. So, yeah, that's really it.
We're joined by Jameer Benjamin, West Bloomfield cornerback on This Week in Laker Football. This defensive back core, these cornerbacks, really 3 deep in the starting level, and guys coming up the depth chart too so far. These first couple weeks have been joining you guys in the ranks and playing really good football. Can you speak to how those guys down the depth charts, those sophomores, those upcoming juniors this year, and what they have added to this defense?
Add a lot of depth. They're going to learn off me, Lorenzo, and Bryce. And, you know, when Lorenzo leaves, it's me and Bryce we're going to be starting. So we're just teaching them the way to do it. The way to do it is just how to just be a shutdown corner.
Talk about the coaching staff, too, because you've been with Coach Grice in his 2 years here as the head coach and even beforehand as the defensive coordinator. And talk about also your assistant coach and the impact that he has on this defensive backcourt and the way it's able to play such effective football against some of the best teams in the state.
Mm-hmm. So Coach Kason, he's our corner coach. He's an amazing coach. He teaches us just life skills. He's an awesome corner coach. He teaches us the X and O's. And it's just, I'm really glad that him and Coach Grice, because Coach Grice, he comes in with the corner sometimes too. So I'm just glad that we have both of them for our secondary.
Having seen such high-level football over the last few years, being able to participate in it at the highest level and also see some of that disappointment, particularly late last season against Rochester Adams in such a close game, how does that motivate you personally and also this defensive back core as you go into OAA Red play this year?
That helps us because we just have to do our job so that that doesn't happen again. We just got to shut down our side of the field so that we don't lose any close games like that because, hey, anything can happen, and you got to be ready for anything to come down the last seconds of the fourth quarter, so we just got to be prepared because we don't want that to happen again this year.
Jameer Benjamin is with us on This Week in Laker Football, West Bloomfield cornerback for the squad this year in their starting defensive backcourt. Jameer, for you personally, what are some of your goals this season in terms of what you would like to improve in your game and take it to the next level?
I just really want to win a state championship. That's really my number one priority. Yeah, I have some personal goals, but like what's really on my mind is winning a state championship.
And Jameer, just a couple minutes with you before we'll take a break here on This Week in Laker Football. Outside of the game of football, what are some things that you really enjoy, whether you're hanging out with your friends or just your own personal hobbies off the gridiron?
I like to go swimming. I have a pool. I just got a new dog 2 days ago, so that's one of my. I like hanging out with my dog and going out with my friends and family.
Be sure to tune in for full television coverage this Friday on Civic Center TV and WBTV at 6:30 for the Laker pregame, followed by the Lakers heading to Rochester Stony Creek to take on the Cougars live at 7 p.m. If you can't catch it on the TV, then just tune in to 89.3 Lakes FM for all the action. Over the weekend, City of Sylvan Lake Police Chief Corey O'Donohue sent a message to the community with news that several Sylvan Lake residents reported an unknown man knocking on doors looking for a woman named Kim. The man was confirmed to live in the area but is not a Sylvan Lake resident. An officer at the scene confirmed that there was in fact no missing woman under that name and that the man was not a viable threat and was driven home. Chief O'Donohue would like to use this example to remind and encourage the community to call the police whenever any unusual behavior is observed. Don't forget to mark your calendars for the 11th annual Family Fun Night at West Bloomfield High School, an event that serves as the pregame party before the big West Bloomfield-Clarkston battle at the Swamp. Let's take a look at the promo video that our very own Jared Clark and Calvin Brown have put together.
Mark your calendars for the 11th annual Family Fun Night at West Bloomfield High School. Stop by on Friday, September 16th at 5 p.m. for an evening of free, fun activities as we honor our military, police, and fire heroes. Plus, stick around to see Laker football take on Clarkston at 7 p.m. To find out more, scan the QR code on your screen or visit wbsd.org/community/Family Fun Night.
Don't forget to come support your Lakers after this fun-filled event. We're going to take a quick break, but don't go too far. Joining us next on the Splash Live, we have two people who have taken a whole new level in changing the world of mental health. Joining us next on the show. Glen Schwartz and Nikki O'Donnell are involved in an amazing organization called Words of Hope for Life, which brings to awareness and advocates for the importance of taking care of your mental health. We'll talk about what great event is coming up next when we come back.
We'll be right back with the Splash Live.
Let's savor these moments. Made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the dining out going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date.
Fire Prevention Week is just around the corner. Join volunteer, part-time, and on-call firefighters at this year's Fire Open House. Catch up on your fire safety knowledge with live demonstrations and hands-on activities. Chat with local businesses and resources about fire prevention, see some familiar faces, fight future fires, and make some new friends. The West Bloomfield Fire Open House, October 2nd from noon to 3 p.m. at Fire Station 1 on Orchard Lake Road. Connect with local leaders, philanthropists, and more. The Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce presents the 2022 Leadership Breakfast. Join the Chamber for a morning of insight with guest speaker Laura Graneman, with the whole event emceed by Fox 2 News anchor Roop Raj. Join your local businesses at the Wabi Country Club September 13th at 8:30 a.m. Order your tickets by September 6th at westbloomfieldchamber.com/breakfast. We'll see you there. And now, back to the Splash, live.
Welcome back to the Splash Live. I'm Ursula Kraus. I don't think it is any argument that mental health needs to be taken more seriously in today's society, and we have two people who have brought to us a whole new way of sharing this knowledge. Glen Schwartz, Executive Board Member, and Nikki O'Donnell, Executive Director of Words of Hope for Life, are joining us today to talk a little bit about their upcoming event, Viewfest. Welcome to the show, Glen and Nikki.
Thanks.
Hi.
So can you tell us a little bit about what Words of Hope for Life does?
Do you want to start with that one? Yeah. So Words of Hope for Life is a mental health action nonprofit. So we are not just talking the talk, but we're out walking the walk. We believe in community-based event interventions. So we create some really unique experiences within communities that help create community and also benefit and help mental health across the board. And we do it in a really out-of-the-box way.
So can you explain a little bit about what Viewfest is? What can we expect at this event?
Yes. So I like
Second annual.
Yes, the second annual Viewfest. Last year we broke a world record, which was really incredible. That was kind of our spin on a community bonding event, really. But this year, our message is making happiness a habit. We did a lot of stigma breaking in the sort of the genesis and the building of the initial Viewfest. And so now we're building on top of that. So I like to say that Viewfest is everything that you love about festival culture and everything you need to take care of your mental health. And this is for all ages. So you're going to show up to an event that will literally improve your mental health just by participating in it. And not only that, it's going to be really fun. So you could literally attend the event and have no idea that each of these experiences that we've created and curated are actually benefiting your mental health, but they 100% are.
So did you have a big turnout last year? I know you said this is your second annual. How did the first year go?
How'd it go, Glen?
It was beyond anything we could have expected. We were definitely upwards plus 5,000. A lot of that had to do with our Hug Buddy postcard project, where we had broken the Guinness Book of World Records. A lot of people in the community had participated in that and wanted to see where their postcards stood in the longest line created, which was 2.8 miles. So we're expecting a turnout that's fairly large this year. It's going to be probably a little bit smaller because we're not breaking a record. But one thing that is new this year that is different from last is that all of the activities are free. The only thing that is purchasable is food, things at our pop-up tent, and occasionally if there's an activity that requires like an ancillary component like a t-shirt, that might be available too. But the rest of it is come and have a great day. Music, food trucks, arts and crafts.
Lots of make and takes. So we have Miss Teen Michigan and Mrs. USA coming. They're going to be doing t-shirt refashioning. So if you've ever seen the funky thrifted t-shirts that are cut all fun and tied all funky, they're going to come in and they're going to help us do some really cool projects with that, which will be really neat.
We're having a candy bar, a giant Candyland game. We have a new entity that's being launched called Cheesecake.
Yes. So we are doing a partnership with 24th Cheesecakery, and so our new Sugar Smile branded cheesecake will be also part of Words of Hope for Life, and it'll be debuting at Viewfest. You can come out and try this incredible cheesecake that also benefits mental health and all the work that we do, which will be really, really fun.
So do you have to be a local resident of the area to attend, or is it literally open to anybody?
It's literally open to anybody. You'll see our billboards all throughout Oakland County and Metro Detroit. Oakland County is our home, and Walled Lake, in the Walled Lake Consolidated School District that we partner with. They are our hub. That's where we started. And so a lot of our the people who attend our events are from this area, but we are certainly not limited to that. So we make sure to, to get the word out as far and wide as we possibly can.
Yeah, the only difference for this year and the location specific is that all of our activities being free, we do have limited supply. So we would ask anybody that's super excited and can't wait to do certain things like clay creations, come out as early as possible. The event runs from 11 to 5, and obviously it's first come, first serve on a lot of the things.
So would either of you change anything about the event, considering how it went last year? Would you change anything for future years?
So I think we did. I think we took a lot of what we learned last year and what people really loved. So the activities, the things that were engaging, not just one age group, that we're engaging lots of age groups and getting families to kind of join and participate together. We really capitalized on that this year. The partnerships that we have within the community, we grew that almost double this year, which is even, more exciting to have. About, what is it now? How many community partners would you say, Glen?
Oh gosh, over 70 at this point.
Yeah. So really combining the forces of people in the community already doing cool stuff and giving them a platform for that. That was another thing we wanted to build on this year. An example of that is that we will have Dean Transportation. So all of Walled Lake Consolidated School Districts uses Dean Transportation for their school buses, and they reached out to us to participate. They saw what we did last year and were really excited to be a part of it. And so they're actually allowing us to use one of their buses to create our Zen Den. So we did a piece in Zen Den last year in a tent, and this year we get to do it in a giant school bus that has a lot of the back seats removed. So I'm getting really creative with how we're going to do that. But that's, again, just a free experience that people can have and come and check out while they're at Viewfest.
The other component that's somewhat interesting is actually very interesting is we partnered with the Jessica Star Splash Pad to raise money for the splash pad in Novi. So we have a 50-50 silent auction, we have raffle baskets, and then we also have a silent auction. All those things will contribute towards making the splash pad a reality.
That's awesome. So I'm very curious. I love food trucks. What food trucks do you expect to be there this year?
Yes. So we're very excited to have back a few of the ones that we had last year. Kona Ice Truck will be out there, Fresh Squeezed Lemonade, and they're also doing mini donuts this year. We'll also have Bueno Tacos, which I'm particularly excited about, and Ed's Barbecue, who was out last year, and if anyone is out there, know how incredible that was. So yes, we'll also be doing, we'll have pizza out there. That will be a Words of Hope for Life station.
And a big non-alcoholic tiki bar with lots of cool branded drinks.
Yes, we call it our dry bar with like these really fun mocktails that are, again, themed with Viewfest's theme of making happiness a habit.
That sounds so fun. Do you have any more events planned for this year after Viewfest?
So we are always in the works here at Words of Hope for Life. We have several events sort of in the works here. We have lots of partnerships, like I said, that we've really been growing and fostering, particularly in the Walled Lake School District. So you'll definitely be seeing a lot from us as we continue to gain and build momentum. Right now, as we interview, we're in our physical space here in Commerce, Michigan at the Rail, where we do a lot of our planning and programming, and we've almost grown out of it. So we're really, expanding and getting out of the community to do more, sort of like boots on the ground, community interventions and programs, and some neat partnerships too. So you'll definitely be seeing a lot from us after Viewfest and in the coming year for sure.
Yeah, so a lot of the activities from here till the end of the year may be scaled back and smaller.
Yeah.
Our next really, really, really large activity would be ZooFest 2023. We did that this year in July. It was an amazing turnout at the Detroit Zoo for all of Oakland County. Dates are different next year and are to be determined, but that will be launched out there to the media probably sometime in January.
So that is awesome. I'm so excited for you guys. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we leave today?
I think just a general invitation, please come out if you're, just looking for something fun and to keep the kids busy for a whole afternoon. Come on out. Again, like we said, this is for all ages. And I'm really, really thrilled that we've been able to work so hard to make the 90% of the activities and the take homes and everything completely free. We have incredible sponsors and people who have donated their time and their talent. So come out and check it out. Come get some free stuff. Come hang out with us, and again, see our approach to making happiness a habit, and hopefully take away a couple tidbits that you can incorporate into your own life this fall and your family's life, and maybe make some connections and meet some new friends.
And look for all of our billboards and signage posted around Walled Lake Central by tomorrow night.
And then one more time, can we have that website so our viewers can reach you guys?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yep, it's wordsofhopeforlife.com. So the number 4, wordsofhopeforlife.com.
Well, thank you so much, Glen and Nikki, for everything you're doing. We look forward to hearing about how this event goes.
Awesome. Thank you for having us.
Next up on the Splash Live, we have the pleasure of once again hearing from Suzanne Levine, Executive Director of Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce, as she reminds us about an event that we have in store for us the next week and a few tips on how business employers can motivate their employees to do the best that they can. We'll be right back after this break.
We'll be right back with the Splash Live. Mark your calendars for the 11th Annual Family Fun Night at West Bloomfield High School. Stop by on Friday, September 16th at 5 p.m. for an evening of free, fun activities as we honor our military, police, and fire heroes. Plus, stick around to see Laker football take on Clarkston at 7 p.m. To find out more, scan the QR code on your screen or visit wbsd.org/community/family fun night.
In the face of COVID-19, staying healthy is important. And now the same is true as we face the flu. Influenza has the potential to infect millions, putting lives and the healthcare system at risk. Fortunately, it's easy to protect yourself. The flu vaccine is safe and effective, and with COVID-19 still spreading, it's essential. To see how you can hit this virus head on, visit michigan.gov/flu. Can I ask you a question? Why do you want to get the COVID-19 vaccine?
I don't like getting sick. The virus will die. It will be easy to not catch it. Keep my family safe and keep playing soccer. Because I love being vaccinated.
What's your hope for everyone?
I hope everybody gets the vaccine to keep safe and strong. Be happy, having fun everywhere. Everyone stay safe and hope you get the vaccine.
And now, back to the Splash Live.
Welcome back to the Splash Live. I'm Ursula Krause. With the stress that these past couple of years have brought us, some businesses have been struggling with understaffing and what is known as quiet quitting. Suzanne Levine is here now to talk to us about how to prevent this from happening and how to encourage a better workplace. It's so great to see you again, Suzanne.
Thank you. I hope you had a wonderful Labor Day weekend.
I definitely did. I hope you did as well.
I did, except for the weather, but that's Michigan for you.
Exactly, yeah.
The weather was kind of quiet quitting.
Yeah, pretty much. So, first of all, can you tell us exactly what the term quiet quitting means?
Well, it's a new term where people are not giving 100% to their job. Whether it's through management, poor management, where people are discouraged from working to their full capacity, or that perhaps the customers are extremely rude. I know that there's a lot of restaurant workers that are pretty fed up because people are blaming them for, the food shortage or the long time of waiting for their food. So it's this whole new movement where people just aren't giving 100% and they really don't care about their jobs anymore, which is really surprising.
So what advice do you have for business owners to get their employees to kind of be more motivated to work and stop this quiet quitting?
I think they really need to have a conversation with them and see what is going on. It would be great if they could hire some sort of life coach or business coach to find out what the issues are with the employees and their business and see what they can tweak to make their employees happier. We know that a lot of businesses can't afford to pay their employees what they, deserve. But there are ways to motivate them by making sure that it's, praise over raise, or maybe they can give them an extra day off, or maybe a bigger discount on some of the things in their store. So, trying to make sure that their employees are happy, because we know one bad interaction with an employee at a store, and that can ruin your business. Word of mouth is always going to be stronger than any amount of advertising you can possibly do.
So do you believe that the pandemic maybe brought a lot to do with this, especially with people being online and working from home? Do you think that has kind of stopped their motivation to work, just being at home and not really being in the place?
I think so. And I also know from speaking to several high-level leaders in different businesses, especially IT, where the people realized that they really hated their jobs. I think that's what the pandemic did for some people, is they realized, wow, I really didn't like going to work. And so some of them just, quit or changed jobs or changed careers even, or they went back to work with this attitude that I don't really care. So I'm going to accept a paycheck and do the least possible amount of work.
Do you think there's a trend in younger people having less motivation to work than maybe the people who have been in the workforce a little bit longer?
I think that we see a trend, especially in younger people, where they want to love their job. And we know that from some of the other places like Google, Facebook, et cetera, they gave them all these incredible perks, to come to work with, snack rooms and nap rooms and, time off maternity and paternity leave. And so smaller corporations can't, or businesses can't afford to do that. So yes, I think that the younger generation has a different attitude. They want to love their job. Pay is not enough to keep them motivated.
So I saw an article that talked about the term quiet firing, which is basically when an employer kind of purposely isn't, the best to their employees that gets them to quit. Do you think that this is a big issue that we're facing?
I think so. I think part of the reason that they want an employee to quit is that then they don't have to pay unemployment. So, sometimes it's more of a subconscious thing where you just have bad management. I mean, people that do not treat their employees or any human the way that they should. Sort of that golden rule, treat people the way you want to be treated, which I think is so important. So yes, I think there's, the reverse effect where you have really bad managers who just don't know how to treat people, and maybe they want them to quit, but are afraid because of lawsuits or perhaps even, unemployment claims. So yeah, I think there's this whole trend of, a back and forth of quiet quitting and quiet firing. And we need to change the whole dynamic about how we look at people and the workforce. We need people to work. There are certain jobs that are not replaceable by robots. And I really think we have to change the dynamic of the way that we think and treat people.
Right. So unfortunately, we are wrapping up on time right now. We want to remind our viewers about this leadership event that's happening next week. We're very excited about it. We can't wait for it, and we can't wait to hear about how it goes.
Yeah, and it's great. Civic Center TV will be covering part of it. So hopefully the people will watch that haven't been able to purchase a ticket. And we have a ribbon cutting this Friday at Elysium Medical Aesthetics. Go to our website, www.westbloomfieldchamber.com. Learn more about all the great ribbon cuttings and networking events that we have. And I hope people have a really healthy and great rest of the week. And remember to treat your local businesses as precious jewels, because they are the backbone of our community.
Very well said. Thank you so much for joining us again this week, Suzanne. It's always such a pleasure. Unfortunately, time is coming to a close for the show today. I'm Ursula Krause, and thank you so much for watching the Splash Live, your very own Greater West Bloomfield TV, radio, and streaming show. We'll see you tomorrow.